Hello. We are at the park today. I had to lie down in the grass because somebody's in my favorite bench. But there was, both my churches talked about the same topic this weekend, so I wanted to touch base about that super quick. It was about, in essence, sharing your faith, staying on mission, spreading the gospel, that kind of thing. But I liked the way this one pastor talked about it, specifically how to share your faith, right? And it made me think about like those Bible verses that are like taste and see, right? Taste and see that the Lord is good, that kind of thing. So if you think about your faith as like a cookie, right? Water, something that you can taste, right? How do you share that, right? How do you share a cookie? You give it away. How do you share your water, right? You give it away. How do you share your faith? You give it away. And so he was just saying that he was giving examples of how, like, say you're at a restaurant or somebody is serving you, you have a waitress or whatever, you're at Starbucks, and sorry about the sun, and hold on. How are we gonna, there we go. And you can just say to them, you can ask, it's polite to ask, and you say, is there anything going on in your life that I can pray for? Or, you got anything going on, that I can pray for, that kind of thing. And it's just a nice way to share your faith. And they might be like, no, like if you were going to offer somebody water or a cookie or money, they might be like, no, thanks, pass. They might not want you to. Not a big deal. But they might say yes. They might have something that they would prefer. They would, be okay with some prayer for. And he was talking about how it's kind of twofold. Like by initiating that conversation with them, then, the next time you see that random person, say you go to the coffee shop a lot or whatever, maybe you learn something about their life and you start to get to know each other, right? Maybe later then you can invite them to church or whatever. And if not, then just like people, sometimes it's nice to know that somebody's praying for you, or it might motivate you to even pray when you weren't going to necessarily pray for a situation, but you're like, well, if so-and-so is going to be praying for me, I might as well pray for myself too, right? And ideally that gets the person to a place where they're like tasting and seeing that the Lord is good on their own. And I thought that's such a nice, simple way to think about it. Because I've heard pastors talk about like napkin theology and, how often are you literally sitting down with somebody and pulling out your napkin so you can spend a half hour breaking down the napkin, the theology of the gospel for someone? You just don't. It doesn't happen. You're not generally like, say you want to say you've got a whole plate of cookies. You're not going to share your cookies by like, here, I'm going to hold all my cookies, but I'll give you, do you want the recipe? I'm going to give you the recipe on how you can make your own cookies. No one does that. That's rude almost. So if you Google, I was Googling like how to share your faith on YouTube and stuff, kind of searching out after that pastor had said that to see, well, what do other people say about this? And there's so much information on how to share your faith. And it makes it so complicated, and I thought this is the simplest way I have ever heard anyone talk about it. So I don't want to act like it's my idea. Like literally, I just heard this yesterday. I've never done it before. But I liked the way he said it, So it's like in my mind, I was like visualizing my faith as literal cookies and offering a cookie to somebody. And maybe they'll want it, maybe they won't. But that's how you share it. You give it away. It's not like you're going to run out of cookies, right? God's going to give you more and more faith. You don't run out, so you share it just like you would share anything else. You give it away. I just thought that was such a good way to talk about it. So anyway, because both churches were kind of on the same topic, they had very different approaches about how to discuss it. One was more emphasizing on that we should do it, and the other church was more focusing on different ways to actually do it. And I think he had 3 ways. I can only remember one of them, but that was my favorite one of to offer to pray for people, but not just like, I'm gonna pray for you, because that's kind of condescending, like they need your prayer, right? It's literally asking them, like, you got anything going on you want me to pray for, and it gives them the opportunity to say yes or no, right? And maybe they'll say yes, maybe they won't, but not to worry about it. It was still nice that you offered, you know. So that is all we have for today. I wanted to quick make a note about that before I forgot about it, and also mental note for me to do it. So along those lines, if anybody has anything they want me to pray for, let me know in the comments, and I will pray for you. Have a good day. Bye.